Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica is a protozoan unicellular parasite. Let's see the hierarchy of Entamoeba histolytica. Phylum Protozoa, as we consider it also kingdom Protista it belongs to, according to 5 kingdom classification. In general, we'll take it as phylum Protozoa, subphylum Sarcomastigophora, superclass Sarcodina, class Rhizopoda, order Lobosa, lobe-like pseudopodia, hence we call Lobosa, family Entamoebidae, genus Entamoeba, species Histolytica. So let's learn about Entamoeba histolytica. Hierarchy once again: phylum Protozoa, subphylum Sarcomastigophora, superclass Sarcodina, class Rhizopoda, order Lobosa, family Entamoebidae, genus Entamoeba, species Histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica is an unicellular protozoan which lives in the human large intestine. Here it is, in the human large intestine, that trophozoite stages of human large intestine. There you see the submucosa of large. In the submucosa of large intestine, this trophozoite stages of Entamoeba histolytica are living here. That submucosa of large intestine. This stage we say trophozoite stage, you can say, which lives in the submucosa of large intestine. It's a feeding stage actually. That trophozoite stage is considered as a feeding stage, and the trophozoite stage contain a pseudopodia that called lobopodial type of pseudopodia. Here it is, you can see the ingested food, the food vacuoles are containing RBC, and the nucleus. Nucleus is a special type of nucleus here. That nucleolus in the center will find the nucleolus as endosome, and chromatin material arranged in the form of chromatin beads, which the nucleolus or endosome is connected with with the help of radial spokes, which the appearance look like cartwheel nucleus, we say. Such kind of nucleus is said to be cartwheel nucleus. It's a cartwheel nucleus, and the trophozoite stage, which we say feeding stage, lives in the submucosa of large intestine of human being. And in the submucosa of large intestine, it is going to release an enzyme called histolysine. Histolysine, which ruptures the blood capillaries of human being. That blood capillaries of human being are getting ruptured over due to the enzyme called histolysine. By releasing histolysine, it invades the blood capillaries of human being. That blood capillaries of human being, and eats RBC. That eaten RBC you can see in this food vacuole. That eaten RBC are present here in the food vacuole. The trophozoite stages will go for asexual reproduction, what we say binary fission here. In the form of binary fission, the trophozoite stages will divide into many individuals. Many smaller individuals of trophozoite are formed due to the binary fission, and these particular trophozoite stages, after the binary fission, some of the stages will become pre-cystic stages. We say them as pre-cystic stages. This is the pre-cystic stage, which is formed in the submucosa of large intestine, and from the submucosa of large intestine it will shift into the lumen of large intestine. In the lumen of large intestine, these particular stages of pre-cystic stages will form a cystic layer. The formation of cystic layer, you see the pre-cystic stage here. Pre-cystic stage is becoming a cystic stage which forming a cystic layer surround. The formation of cystic layer is called encystation. It happens in the lumen of large intestine, and it contains chromatoid bodies and the nucleus as usual. And the pre-cystic stages, after the formation of cystic stage, we call them as uninucleate cystic stages. Nucleus divides once, the two nuclei are formed, the stage called binucleate cystic stage. Binucleate cystic stage, nucleus divides again, that leads to the formation of tetranucleus cystic stage. The four nuclei, the tetranucleate cystic stage. These tetranucleate cystic stages will find in the lumen of large intestine. The story begins in the submucosa of large intestine. As we are seeing there, the trophozoite stages will go for binary fission, and after the binary fission, that some of the stages became pre-cystic stages, and that pre-cystic stages is going to be entered in the lumen of large intestine, and these pre-cystic stages will form a cystic layer surround. We call them as cystic uninucleate cyst. The process we said encystation process, that encystation we said, and in the lumen of large intestine, more it happened, the nucleus divides one more time. Nucleus divides again, the two nuclei are formed, the stage is called binucleate cystic stage. Nucleus again divides, tetranucleate cystic stage is formed here. It all happened in the lumen of large intestine. So these tetranucleate cystic stages, which are present in the lumen of large intestine, through the lumen of large intestine will come out through the fecal matter. That along with the fecal matter, the tetranucleate cystic stages will enter into the contaminated food and water here. Tetranucleate cystic stages, we can see here that these particular tetranucleate cystic stages, through the contaminated food and water, through the fecal oral route, it enters into the human being, that mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine. There these particular stages are entering, and when it comes in the small intestine, the tetranucleate cystic stages, cystic layer, that the stage is inside, which contain four nuclei, that these tetranucleate cystic stages containing cystic layer is ruptured and punctured, and they release out. The tetranucleate stages will be released out, this particular tetranucleate stage, by the action of trypsin enzyme. Cystic wall is ruptured, and the four nucleus stage will come out here. The stage we say metacyst. Metacyst, and the process of coming out of tetranucleate stage from the tetranucleate cystic stage, we say it as excistation, which occur in the lumen of small intestine. In the lumen of small intestine it happens. So these excisted tetranucleate stage will divide. Nucleus once divides and followed by the cytoplasmic divisions, and that cytoplasmic divisions results into the formation of 8 amoebulae. That 8 amoebulae are getting formed here. That amoebulae, which are present in the lumen of small intestine, they migrate back again to the wall of large intestine, and there they become trophozoites again. They become adult trophozoites again. So the path is from the wall of submucosa of large intestine. From there, that stage is entered in the lumen of large intestine, and from there enters out, that through fecal matter, and when the fecal matter is contaminated with the contaminated food and water, they enter into the other person, other human being, Then after that enters in the lumen of small intestine in that person, and from the lumen of small intestine again they migrated into the wall of large intestine. When we talk about stages, trophozoite stage is present in the submucosa of large intestine. Capable, we say feeding stage it is said to be feeding stage, and trophozoite stage is a pathogenic stage even we say. Why it is called pathogenic stage? Because it releases an enzyme called histolysin, that by releasing histolysin it invades the blood capillaries of human being, that damages the blood submucosa of large intestine of the human being, that we say the disease causing stage, we say trophozoite pathogenic stage. And when we talk about pre-cystic stage, which is formed from the trophozoite stage after asexual reproduction, binary fission, and migrated towards the lumen of large intestine, and it was a stage before cyst, we call it as pre-cystic stage, that's why. And the encystation results the formation of a cystic stage, that cystic stage with single nucleus, the cystic stage with two nucleus, and the cystic stage with four nucleus. We named them as cystic stage, uninucleate cystic stage, binucleate cystic stage, and tetranucleate cystic stage. All these are going to be happen in the lumen of large intestine. All it happen in the lumen of large intestine. Then these tetranucleate cystic stages are traveled out from the lumen of large intestine. They get traveled out through the fecal matter of human being and contaminated with food and water, and that makes them to enter inside another human being. Hence we say tetranucleate cystic stages are infective stages. And the two processes we need to remember here: encystation, which occurs in the lumen of large intestine, which leads to the formation of cystic layers around. Then excistation process, that rupture of cystic wall through the action of trypsin enzyme, and the tetranucleate stages will come out. The process we said excistation occur in the lumen of small intestine of the human being. And division phases, when we talk about, we know that I already seen that trophozoite is going for a sexual reproduction called binary fission, that trophozoite goes for binary fission. And the one more stage, it happens in the submucosa of large intestine. Locations are going to be very important in this case, submucosa of large intestine. Whereas one more stage which can divide, that is metacyst. A multiple fission happened in the metacyst. The tetranucleate stage coming after excistation, we called it as metacyst. So this stage will go for multiple fission for the formation of 8 amoebulae. That 8 amoebulae are getting formed here. So these are the divisions here. And let's talk about pathogenicity of Entamoeba histolytica. As we came to know that the Entamoeba histolytica is living in the submucosa of large intestine. Trophozoite stages, we can say they are pathogenic stages. The presence and activity of the trophozoite in the wall of large intestine causes amoebic dysentery, characterized by that frequent passage of stool and gripping palm, and they contain mucus and occasionally blood. Amoebic ulcers. In addition to amoebic dysentery, the presence of the parasite causes multiple ulcers in the cecum, ascending colon, and rectum. In advanced cases, the ulcers may be large and may also show hemorrhage due to erosion of blood vessels. In acute case of parasite infection, perforation and gangrene of intestinal wall may occur. Periodic abscesses, peritonitis, appendicitis, that also have been reported, pericolic abscesses. Metastatic or secondary lesions. In chronic cases, the parasite may enter into the blood circulation and reaches the different parts of the body to cause extraintestinal or metastatic lesion. It is also known as tissue amoebiasis. In various places of the internal organs of the body, are having effects of these amoebic descent, amoebic stages, trophozoite stages of entamoeba. Like in the liver, it is called hepatic amoebiasis that causes abscesses in the liver, pulmonary amoebiasis in the lungs, cerebral amoebiasis that in the cerebral hemisphere of the brain, splenic amoebiasis. In rare cases, the parasite may enter in the spleen also that cause abscesses there. Cutaneous amoebiasis. It is characterized by the appearance of skin lesions in the urinogenital tract. Infection entamoeba histolytica may rarely enter into the urinogenital tract through rectal fistula, causing amoebic ulcer of the penis and vaginitis. The treatment amoebicidal drugs used to destroy the parasite inside human body may grouped under following categories that are not much required for us. Tissue amoebicides that emitin and dihydroemitin are the drugs of choice to kill trophozoites residing inside the intestinal wall, liver and other metastatic lesions. Chloroquine is used specifically for the parasite present in the liver and lung. So, this is all about Entamoeba histolytica, life history of Entamoeba histolytica.